Hello, welcome to Caffeinated Cast-On's YouTube channel. I'm Therese, also known as Caffeinated Cast-Ons. I am a North Texas-based knitter. I've been knitting for 3 years now, and this YouTube channel is just my video version of Ravelry project pages. So if you're into knitting, I guess I don't crochet, but if you're into knitting and you just want to hang out and chat, grab a cup of coffee and join me as I go through some projects that I'm working on and kind of some knitting goals and things going on this month of May. Yeah, so it is a Saturday, May 25th, and it is about 9:30 something in the morning, I think. If I look down, I've got my baby monitor here. My little guy is down for a nap, so I'm like kind of against the clock, like, can I get all of this done while he's napping? So we'll see how this goes. But I have my coffee in one of my favorite mugs, this butterfly mug that I thrifted I don't know how long ago, and I couldn't tell you from where. It was off of like an Instagram thrift account, but I love it so much. There was another one I wish I would have bought too, so it's kind of like more of a set, but I'm the only one who drinks coffee in the household, so it's fine. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get into some projects. I kind of have them all just like spread out on the bed over here. We're gonna get into those and I'll walk you through kind of what I'm working on and we'll go from there. First project I'm going to talk about today is, again, I don't know how to pronounce it, if it's Holger or Holger, but it's a baby set that I'm making as a gift. And I think last time I was in the middle of working the back panel. I do have the back panel finished. It's hard to really show because since it's stockinette, it's just kind of curling up. And it's about like 4.5 inches, I think. And I just have it on a stitch holder. It's time for me to work the shoulders. And this is a petite knit pattern. And it's hard. Like, I like petite knits patterns, but I think one of the things is the translation, like it being translated from, gosh, what language? I'm not sure what her first language is, but being translated and then to English, like some of the instructions don't make sense to me, and there's always something tricky in her patterns that I just get tripped up on. And so I'm not sure how to start the shoulder on this, so I'm gonna see if I can find either a YouTube video or see if someone has comments on their project pages in Ravelry to see if I can get an idea of how to start this shoulder, because I've only ever done like raglan increase tops with a yoke. So this is definitely new for me. I wanted to have it done sooner. Like I'm not gonna have this done when I wanted to, which is okay. Like I still have time to finish it, but yeah, so this is the start of the back panel. Yep. And then the yarn, the main color is Life in the Long Grass. It's on their singles base, which is 100% superwash merino, and this is Agate Stone. I did go over this in a previous video, and it is linked down below in my Ravelry project pages. But I have 2 skeins of this, so working from here. And originally I was gonna do contrast sleeves in this West 7th wool. It does have, it's not stellina, but it is like a shimmer, what is it? Lurex, I guess that's their shimmer that they use, and it's silver, you can see that. It doesn't feel itchy, but I am, since it is for a baby, I am worrying about that bothering them a little bit. So I might just do the solid, just the one color. We'll see, because originally I did, out of these 3 skeins, I did want to get the sweater and the pants done so it can be a set, but we'll see how much yarn I have left over from the sweater just as plain and see what we can get and see what we're left over from there. I think it should be enough. I mean, because it is for a baby, you know, and it's not going to be, they don't need as much yarn as it would be for a person, like a grown-up. So I think it should be enough, but we will see. The next project I'm working on is actually a test knit, and it is my very first test knit that I've ever done. So while I can't show you the object, I will show you the yarn because the yarn is so good and I'm so excited. This is just in a canvas tote. This is in my mom era. This was gifted to me this past holiday season, I believe. I participated in a sock or yarn exchange where you were matched up with a buddy, and this was included in my box. So yeah, can't show you the object. Like I mentioned, it is a test knit, but the yarn I am using 2 different yarns, and these are it. Look at that. This is so good. So the yarn is a Mace of Skeins, and these are on her old, these are old bases. So I believe, yeah, these are retired. This is on her old club base, and it is fingering, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. Let's see, this one is the color Dirty Cowboy, but there's blues and reds in there, and it looks so good. I can't wait for you to see the finished object with this once the test knit is over. And then this is Rodeo Queen red, and it's got some darker reds in there. It is so good, and they look so good together. And originally these came together in a set with one other skein that I've already used before when I knit a beanie. They came in like a 3-pack that I got at Fiberfest 2022. That was the last time Mace of Skeins had vended. Is that the right word? Vended? Was a vendor? Yeah, but these are actually in the set, and I ended up not making what I thought I was gonna make with them, so I kind of just split it up, and they've been in my stash. But when this test knit came up, I knew exactly what I was gonna reach for. Again, I can't wait to show you what it is because it's really good. But those are the 2 different yarns I'm using. The test knit, like I mentioned, this is my first test knit. I think it's going really well. The designer's great, and I'm a big fan of theirs. So yeah, I can't wait for you to see. It is due, I have to turn it in later this month. And I don't know whenever the pattern is coming out, but once I'm allowed to say what's going on, I will definitely share that here. Yeah, so it's a big, kind of a big push to get that done as soon as I can, though I can turn in my feedback and notes. As I mentioned, today is Saturday, May 25th. Summer sock camp started yesterday, and I am so stinking excited. So if you're new and you're not sure what summer sock camp is, the Crazy Sock Lady, she's on Instagram and YouTube. Every year she holds just this summer make-along for socks where you can knit or crochet socks, and it's just for fun. Like, yes, it's called camp, but it's just like you can participate anytime. It's free. She has all the details. Go find her on YouTube or Instagram and find it all there. Anyways, so summer sock camp started yesterday, and I am so excited. I have 2 projects that I'm going to talk about that are summer sock camp specific projects, and then on my Ravelry pages, I need to update the other one, but I've updated the project page name so to indicate that it is summer sock camp. So for example, one of the socks I talk about is a DK vanilla sock, and so I titled the project SSC 24 DK vanilla. That way I can kind of keep track of how many socks I can get done this year at summer sock camp. since it does go through the whole summer, I really just am curious how many socks that I will be able to get off my needles. But let me show you the socks. So I have 2 socks to talk about. So I haven't finished my coffee and I've been up super early this morning. Yeah, anyways, the first sock I'm going to talk about, last episode that I posted, I had actually frogged my murmuration socks because my brain could not compute that pattern. It wasn't complicated, but for some reason, it just wasn't the time for me to knit a lace sock. And so I frogged it for like the 2nd or 3rd time, and I did not restart that sock. I said, forget it. I don't want to deal with this. I'm not happy with how this is going. It's just going to put me in a bad mood. And so instead, I started a ribbed sock. I literally can't remember if I just said this. So with summer sock camp, whips are allowed, meaning if you've already got like a sock that you've been working on prior to the start, you can still work on that and it count as a finished object while summer sock camp is going on. And that's so if you want to enter for prizes. So I've made great progress on this ribbed sock. And it looks funny since it is a ribbed sock. You're like, wait, this is a sock? Look at that yarn. Gosh, it looks so beautiful in the light. Oh yeah, and you can really see. Yeah, look at that. It looks so good. So I'm just doing a 2x2 ribbed sock. Here we go. Let's see, how many did I do for the leg? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I did 60 rounds for the leg. And then I did a heel flap and gusset. So I finished the heel and I finished the gusset decreases. So now I'm just working on the foot, and I've got 10, 20, 30, probably about 40 rounds. And that means I'll have about 20, 25 rounds to go, because typically I'm doing around 64, 65 rounds for the foot before I get to the toe. And this is just on the first sock. So very pleased with how this is going, and excited to already kind of have something going for summer sock camp to kind of kickstart everything. I was hoping to have this a little bit further along. Sorry, I've got a knot for summer sock camp. But again, since I had that test knit, that's taken up some of my time and focus. But I am so happy. This is gonna look really good. I'm really pleased that I decided to go with a ribbed sock. That's gonna look good, especially like once it's blocked and not so sucked in. So this is my first sock that I have geared up for summer sock camp. And then I did a German twisted cast on for whenever I can't really call it a cuff since it's the whole leg, but yeah, did a German twisted cast on, and I am working this on magic loop on size US1 needles. We're doing good so far. He's still asleep. So. Okay, my next sock whip, I love this bag. It's perfect because it's camping theme. So summer sock camp. My friend Katrina made this for me 2 years ago, whenever I first participated in summer sock camp. And this sock I actually cast on yesterday on the first day of summer sock camp. And it is a DK sock, and I've never done a DK sock before. So I'm very excited that I decided to cast this one on first. And let me show you. This is the yarn. It's this kind of woodsy, foresty green. I love it so much. I can't remember, I want to say I got this in a sock yarn exchange, or just like a yarn exchange, again, that I participated in last year. I want to say, I can't remember exactly because I don't have the card anymore, but I want to say this is a Sorella Oopsie skein, like that was sold at a discount, but I couldn't tell you what the name was supposed to be, what collection it was supposed to be. I don't know that. I'm just pretty sure it is Sorella. I'm gonna have it in a yarn cozy that I made. This is Nitty Natty's pattern for a yarn cozy. Since I am doing a center pull, I wanted this to be able to sit down, though I can just set it on the table or keep it in the project bag and be able to easily pull from that. Now the sock. So this is the sock. Oh, look at that. Looking good. So like I mentioned, this is a DK sock, and I am working this on magic loop on size, what did I go with? US3 needles. And I'm kind of doing two things at once. I kind of mashed two patterns together with this. I have Summer Lee's sock project book, and I saw there was she had a DK pattern for a sock, and it had just a rolled cuff rather than like a ribbed cuff, and I really liked the look of that, and I thought it would look just extra cozy on this dark green. And then also following the Crazy Sock Lady, she has a DK version of her vanilla socks, and so just kind of like combining those two together to make the sock. So I don't know how long I'm gonna make the leg. I think I would like to definitely make it longer, at least like double this. And then, like I said, working on magic loop. So this was just progress that I did yesterday throughout the day. I think I cast on during my lunch break yesterday, and then got that done kind of on my breaks and a little bit in bed before I went to bed. So those are the two socks that I have going right now for summer sock camp. I don't think I'm going to be working more than, I don't want to have more than 2 socks on the needles at a time, just because I think I'll get overwhelmed. I think I tried to do that my first year. I wanted to have 4 socks going at once. I don't know what I was thinking. So those are the only 2 I'm gonna have going at one time. So once I finish one of those, then I'll cast on a new pair. I do have some other yarn kind of queued up for summer sock camp. Let me get those so I can show you what my plans are for the rest of summer sock camp. So some people go into summer sock camp with just 0 plans and kind of working on whatever inspires them, whatever they're in the mood for. That is kind of my plan, but I have some stuff pre-planned out. And then after that, I'll kind of just see whatever I'm in the mood for. But these plans can change. So that DK sock, that was my first one I wanted to work with, just because I know that one's gonna knit up a lot quicker and kind of get the ball rolling on like my sock knitting mode. So I have kind of 3 other I guess socks queued up, you could say. I did write everything down on a, I did write everything down on a post-it note and label it with the yarn so we can go through that. Now these are in no particular order for how I want to work, how and when I want to work them up. So besides the DK vanilla, I have this sock set from ZZ Textiles, and this is old. And this again was in my sock yarn exchange. But this is patina, and I had my eyes on this whenever she had released this one, but I just never ordered it. And how perfect that my like sock exchange buddy like had this in her stash and knew she was not going to knit with it. Like, perfect. So I know I really wanted to knit this up, and my plan for this is to make a pair of Rhinebeck Roomies. I have made a pair before, and I really enjoy the texture. It looks great on a speckled yarn. This isn't speckled, but I know with those pops of like the coppery color are gonna stand out great. So I'm super excited to see this worked up. And what else do I have on my note? So I know I want to do a pop of color on the heel. So with this mini skein, I'll do a pop of color and then just the rest of the heel in the main color. What else did I write? A contrast heel and a contrast toe. So this is going to be my heel and toe. So very excited to have that worked up. Okay, we're still good on the nap cam. The next sock is probably this batch of yarn. One is like perfect for summer sock camp. The theme this year is like an 80s, 90s vibe with like the colors. And I have had this pack in my stash for probably a couple years, and it's perfect. But this is probably gonna get me multiple pairs of socks. And I just have vanilla color block is what's on the note. And look at this. Like, I think all of these colors are in the logo this year. And let's see, this was a sock set. I want to say it's called like Neon. Oh, it is called the Neon Sidewalk Chalk Sock Set. This is by the Creative Knitter, hand dyed in Ontario, Canada. And originally I was gonna make just a bunch of pairs of shorty socks with this as the main color, and then like contrast heel and toe, but like alternating. So if this was the heel and this was the toe on like sock 1, then this was the toe and this was the heel on sock 2. So you have a pair using the same colors, but it kind of looks mix match, and it was just kind of a fun thing. I really wanted to do that, but I just never got around to it. Like, I just knit up other yarns. But I'm excited to kind of do something like make a color blocked yarn with this. So probably like this be the cuff, this be the leg, this be the foot, and then this be the toe type thing. And so there's a good amount of mini skeins in there. So I am gonna get probably at least 2 pairs out of this, depending on how I end up working it up. But I'm very excited just to kind of make like a color block of things, and these are just going to be so fun. Maybe I'll gift some of these or make these like Christmas presents or something. I've knit my mom a few pairs of socks and she seems to really enjoy them, so maybe I'll make her a pair out of these. And then the third socks that I have kind of pre-planned, queued up for summer sock camp are scrappy socks. And these are just going to be a pair of vanilla scrappy socks. And this past year, I have just been collecting scraps and pre-dividing them in baggies. I think these are 10-gram balls. And so just making a pair of scrappy socks with these. Glare. So excited to do those. I worked my first scrappy socks earlier. Well, I guess last year, not earlier, this year. I worked those, and so I'm excited to kind of do the same thing again. And with these, I could probably work them into a fade, really, because the colors really kind of just all go together. So excited for that as well. So lots of vanilla socks, one pattern sock kind of queued up right now. Again, I don't know what order I'm going to work these in. It just kind of depends whenever I finish my other 2 sock whips and what kind of mood I'm in. So I would ideally like to knit through and finish the socks I've at least pre-planned out. That I think is an awesome goal. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to count this as at least 2. So if I have 6 pairs of socks between now and the end of August, we'll see how much time I have and can get through those. But that's what I have planned for summer sock camp so far. I'm so excited. I do want to order some merch. I think I might do that next week. Maybe, we will see. So lots of knitting going on over here. So let's set up some goals for this next week. I do want to finish my test knit. That has a deadline, so that takes first priority. Another goal is to actually figure out the pattern instructions for that baby sweater set. I would like to get the ball rolling on that. I'm just kind of on standstill, so I really want to look up kind of the next steps of the pattern so I can get some clarification and really get that going again. So that's goal number 2. And then goal number 3 for this upcoming week, I would like to finish sock 1 of the ribbed sock. That way I can get the next one started. I think setting some kind of like schedules for my sock knitting will also help things go along for summer sock camp, and kind of like, well, by the end of this week I want to get to here, or by the end of today I want to finish the leg or something like that. So yeah, those are just my 3 goals for this upcoming week that I want to get through, and I think that will really keep everything moving along. My coffee's getting cold. Reading, watching, and listening. So I did finish reading the Midnight Library. That was a read along that I was doing with one of my friends on Instagram, Paris May Reads. She posted a read along and it was great. I finished the book ahead of schedule. I finished it like a week ahead, which was nice just because I wanted to go ahead and finish the book. I have read it before, but I couldn't remember exactly what happened, and so I just kept reading. It is a very quick read. So if you need a quick read, I recommend. Yeah, the book, it was good. I think I gave it 3 stars. The plot, the overall theme, like, has been done before, but like the kind of emotional journey and concept was very interesting. Yeah, so that was nice. It felt really good to like finish a book. I have not picked up A Little Life. I think once I finish my test knit, I definitely want to pick that book up again. But just since I'm working on a deadline, I'd like to get that done first and then kind of dive into some other things. But I definitely want to continue to read more because that was very nice. Watching, so I haven't watched too much TV lately. I feel like I'm still rewatching Modern Family. That I'm kind of speeding through because I'm just like binge watching it, and I think I'm in season 6 already. Yeah, but that's going really good. I saw on Twitter, and I'm so excited, Yellow Jackets season 3 has started filming. I am so excited, and I really hope, I kind of have a feeling it'll be the last season if I had to guess, just because it's been a while since the 2nd season. But I still have a lot of unanswered questions that I didn't really get closure from in the 2nd season. I definitely liked the 1st season better. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure where they're gonna pick up, because since it is taking place kind of at 2 different times, like just how they're gonna kind of close everything together. So very interested in that, but very excited. Yeah, so if you haven't watched Yellow Jackets, I recommend. There's 2 seasons. Yeah. Listening, just been listening to a lot of kid songs because my son, like, whenever we're just hanging out, yeah, and just excuse me, and just my day list, kind of just listening to whatever Spotify is trending out, and then of course some weekly podcast. Yeah, that's definitely cold. Let's close her on up. Hold on, kind of funny because I do enjoy iced coffee. And it's funny because if this was iced, I wouldn't have a problem with it being cold. Like if that's what I started drinking, but since it was hot and turned cold, I don't know, kind of random. 3 simple joys. Let's close her on out. Simple joy number 1 has been walking. This past week, I walked 2 miles every day outside. And it is hot in North Texas right now. So that is dedication, okay? And it's been raining a lot, so it's felt like gross and muggy outside. But 1, I'm very proud of myself for walking 2 miles every day. I am trying to get some more movement in, but it's been so nice just to do something for myself. I really enjoy it. So I just put on my headphones, do a podcast or a music playlist or something, and it's just been so nice. So I really, really, really enjoyed that. Simple joy number 2, having a working car. I had some car troubles the last couple weeks and it has been a pain. Even though I work from home, I don't really go too many places. Usually it's just to run errands, get groceries, something like that. But not having a car definitely made me feel very trapped at home. Like I couldn't leave if I wanted to. So I did not like that. So I am very thankful that I have a working car now, and that is such a huge relief. 1, mentally, 2, financially, because like a new car is not in the budget right now, okay? And then simple joy number 3 was finishing a book. You guys, I used to be like a really avid reader. Like I just always had a book in my bag and was always reading something, and I miss that. Of course, I really enjoy knitting. Now it's like, oh, I always have a knitting project in my bag, and I really love that, but I definitely miss reading, and just finishing a book was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm like, oh yes, like let me just read things, read all the things. I love it. Yeah, so it was really enjoyable. So I hope to continue that. Okay, little man is still napping, but I do want to get in some knitting time before he wakes up, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you do come back. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like. I try to post weekly. Life has been a little chaotic, so there's been some gaps here and there the last couple weeks. Yeah, we'll see if things calm down any. Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at Caffeinated Cast-Ons. Trying to get better about posting more often on there when I'm working on kind of more daily stuff. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go reheat the last bit of my coffee and get some quiet time while I have it, because I do not know how long he's going to nap. And I need to start editing this and get this up. So until next time, stay caffeinated.